Life is 1% what happens and 99% how you respond. Hi and Hariom children. Today's topic is percentage in real life and profit or loss as a percentage. As usual, shall we start the session with prayer? Sit straight, close your eyes, take a deep breath, chant Om 3 times, followed by prayer.
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम्.
Let us see a short introduction about the video. Percentages are used widely and in many different areas. For example, discounts in shops, bank interest rates, rates of inflation, and many statistics in the media are expressed as percentages. Percentages are important for understanding the financial aspects of everyday life. Learning objectives. Convert between percent, decimal, and fraction form. Perform calculations involving percents. Solve real world problems involving percents.
Oh no! The battery on my phone is almost out of charge. I only have 60 milliampere hours out of a maximum possible 3000 milliampere hours charge left. No one talks about a phone charge like this. The practical way is to say it with percentage. Yep, that's the topic for today. Simply speaking, percentage is a handy way to express a fraction or a ratio with 100 as the denominator. The cent in the word percent in fact stands for centum, which is Latin for 100, like in a century. Got it? So percent means per 100, and it's shown with this symbol. Typically, the term percent is used when talking about a specific value. For example, 5% interest rate or 30% discount. The term percentage, however, is used in a more general form. For example, a large percentage of population, a small percentage of students, etc. Practically, the terms percent and percentage are used interchangeably. It's no big deal. Percentages play a very important part in our everyday lives to express, say, a phone battery charge, discount offers, interest rates by a bank, sales commission, nutrition values, school grades, and so on. Percentages are simplified ways of expressing parts of a whole, the whole being 100. For example, 24 boys in a class of 60 is simply written as a fraction first, 24 by 60, then multiplied by 100 to get the percent. That's the formula. You have the parts or the absolute value. You know the number of parts in the whole or the total. You can calculate the percent. Let's take another example with a slight twist. 30% discount over a price of $70. Here, we know the percent already, but have to calculate the actual value. 30% means 30 parts of 100, which is 30 by 100. We multiply this by the whole, which is 70, to get the discount in absolute terms, $21. The formula is as shown. Now let's see something interesting. Applying the commutative property of multiplication, we can interchange these two values without changing the outcome. So 30% of 70 is same as 70% of 30. This is true for any numbers. You got to remember this in case you come across any tricky questions. Mostly percentages are useful for comparing information where the totals are different. Let's take an example. Alice scored 24 marks out of maximum 40 in a quiz. Bob scored 29 marks out of 50 in another quiz. Who fared better? The denominator in each of these fractions is different. We cannot compare them directly. But when we calculate the percent, we can compare easily and determine that Alice did better. In a golf club president's election, 80% of all 300 members voted. 65% of those who voted were male. It's important to understand that the relative basis could be different. In this example, 80% relates to the total members, which we know, whereas the 65% relates to the number of members who voted, which we do not know. The answer for the first part is 240, becomes the total base for the second part of the question to get the number of male members who voted, which is 156. Let's say a boutique clothing store increased the price of a $100 jacket by 10%, but then decreased it by 10% the very next day. The increase by 10% and the decrease by 10% don't cancel out. Let's see how. The increase of price on the base of $100 first raised the price of the jacket to $110. The very next day, the decrease by 10% is on this new base of $110. The new price of the jacket now becomes $99. A man worked out for a week and lost weight from 150 pounds to 141 pounds. What's the percentage change in weight? We know the absolute change in the weight is 9 pounds, and we also know the original weight, which is 150. For calculating the percent change, we always have to use the original value as the relative base. The change in this example is 9 by 150, which is 6%. Let's learn a couple of new terms via an example. A bank increased the interest rate on loans from 2% to 3%. Saying that the rate increased by 1% will be misleading, even though the absolute difference between the percentages is 1%. In such cases, we say the difference is 1 percentage point or 100 basis points. Some standard decimals or fractions can just be remembered for quick reference in future. For example, 1/5 is 20%, a quarter is 25%, 1/3 is 33 and 1/3%, half is 50%, and 3/4 is 75%. So there you go. I'm 100% sure you will do good on your quiz after this.
and welcome to today's lesson, Ratios as Percents. Let's review what a percent is. A percent just means part of 100. We can use percentages to compare only part to whole ratios. So what does that mean? Let's take a look at this group of objects. Can I use a percentage to compare stars to all? Well, since stars is a part and all is the whole, yes. What about if I had stars to boxes? In this case, stars is a part and boxes are a part, so I cannot use this for a percentage to compare. What about all to stars? I do use a whole in this ratio. However, it's not written second, and that makes a difference. So I cannot use all to stars. I cannot use a percent to describe that ratio. Finally, we have boxes to all. Boxes is a part and all is a whole, so yes, I can use a percent to describe boxes to all. Notice that in my yes column, it doesn't matter what my part is, my whole is always going to be written second, and here usually we use all to represent our whole. So let's review a little bit about what a ratio is. We know that it is a comparison between two quantities. And we know the ratio of boxes to all here is going to be the boxes, which are 1, 2, and the all, which is all 5 of these objects. So we can write our ratio in one of these 3 ways. Let's look specifically at our fraction. Because we know how to convert a fraction to a decimal and a decimal to a percent, we can convert a ratio to a percent. We'll start by converting 2/5 into a decimal. Remember, our numerator 2 goes inside the division box, and our 5 goes outside our denominator. So we notice that we cannot fit any groups of 5 into 2, so we have 0. 0 times 5 is going to give us 0. We'll subtract, and we'll end up with 2, and then we're going to bring down. To bring down, we had to add a decimal. So remember, when you place your decimal inside the division house, you need to make sure that you also place your decimal in your quotient. Now I'm ready to bring down my 0. This time I can see 4 goes into 5. 4 goes in to 25 times. So 4 times 5 is 20. When I subtract, I get 0 for my remainder, so I'm done. So let's take our decimal 4/10 and convert it to a percent. I know that when I am going from a decimal to a percent, I'm going to be moving my decimal place 2 places to the right. So I end up with 40%. So you could say that I have 40% boxes out of the number of objects in my original problem. Let's try a couple more examples. Pause the video and see if you can find what percent are pepperoni and what percent are not polka dot. Hopefully you had some time to look at this. So I count my pepperoni and I see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of a total of 8. So that's 5/8. I'll convert 5/8 into a decimal, and then I'll convert that into a percent. So I should have gotten 62.5%. On the what percent are not polka dot, because I only have one polka dot, I'm going to look at the ones that are striped. Whenever it tells you that you are not looking for something, it means you're looking for the other object. So I have 3 out of 4 that are striped, which is 75%.
How do we express 15/20 as a percentage? We know that if we have to express something as a percentage, we have to make its denominator equal to 100. So 15/20 should equal some number x by 100. To find the percentage, we just have to find out what this x is. These are actually 2 equal ratios, which means this is proportion. Since this is proportion, 15 multiplied by 100 is equal to 20 multiplied by x. The product of the extremes is always equal to the product of the means. Transposing 20 to the other side, we write x as 15 multiplied by 100 divided by 20. 100 divided by 20 is 5, and hence x is equal to 15 multiplied by 5, which equals 75. Hence, 15 by 20 is 75 by 100, and that is equivalent to 75%. This was the concept of how we convert it into percentage form. But notice what we did. All we did was multiply the fraction by 100. Can we do this every time? Yes. To convert a fraction to percentage terms, we just have to multiply it by 100. All this was done just so that you can understand why we multiplied the fraction by 100. It's because we want the denominator to be 100, and since these are equivalent ratios, we multiply 15 by 20 by 100. Let's express 3 by 5 as a percentage. We multiply 3 by 5 by 100. 5 times 20 is 100 and 20 times 3 is 60. That gives us 60. So 3 by 5 is equal to 60%. Remember, to convert a fraction to percentage, just multiply the fraction by 100. This formula will help you solve problems really quick.
Sharma, and in this video you'll learn how to convert a ratio into a percentage. So let's begin. First of all, we'll follow these steps to convert a ratio into percentage. Step 1. We'll obtain the ratio. Let's say it is x ratio y. In the next step, we'll convert it into a fraction. We'll write it in the form of x divided by y. Now, in the step 3, we'll multiply the fraction obtained in the step 2 by 100. So let's say if it is x divided by y, we'll multiply it by 100. It becomes 100x divided by y. And we put the percentage sign in front of it, which gives us the percentage. So let's see how it is done. So we have an example 1. In this example, we need to find 6 ratio 5 in percentage. So we'll follow the step 2, convert it into a fraction, 6 divided by 5. In the step 3, we'll multiply it by 100, which gives us 600 divided by 5. And next, we have 120% as the answer. So let's move on to the example 2. Here, we have 8 ratio 25 in the percentage. So we have to first convert it into a fraction, which is 8 divided by 25. Next we'll multiply it by 100, which gives us 800 divided by 25, which is 32%. So this is a pretty easy method to convert a ratio into a percentage. So you can also follow our next video to convert percentage into a ratio, the exact opposite of what we are doing right now. So stay tuned for that.
Profit or loss percent. Today, let's learn how to find the profit or loss percent with Tim and Andy. Let's start. Firstly, let's begin with how to find the profit percent. We know that profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. The profit percent is the profit earned on every 100 rupees of the cost price. Hence, it is always calculated on the cost price of the article. Thus, profit percent is equal to profit upon cost price into 100. Let's understand it in a better way by solving an example with Tim. Tim bought a toy car for 1,200 rupees and sold it to Andy for 1,500 rupees. What profit did he earn? What is the profit percent? Selling price of the toy car is equal to 1,500 rupees. Cost price of the toy car is equal to
200 rupees. To find the answer, we follow these steps. Step 1. Find the profit. Profit is equal to selling price minus cost price, which is 300 rupees. Step 2. Find the profit percent. Profit percent is equal to profit upon cost price into 100, which is equal to 300 upon 1200 into 100. On reducing, we get 25%. Thus, Tim earned a profit of 300 rupees or 25% on the toy card. Now, let's see how to find the loss percent. We know loss is equal to cost price minus selling price. Loss percent is the loss incurred on every 100 rupees of the cost price. Hence, it is always calculated on the cost price of the article. Thus, loss percent is equal to loss upon cost price into 100. Let's understand it in a better way by solving an example with Andy. Andy bought a toy car from Tim for 1,500 rupees and sold it for 1,350 rupees. What was the loss he incurred? What is the loss percent? Selling price of the toy car is equal to 1,350 rupees. Cost price of the toy car is equal to 1,500 rupees. To find the answer, we follow these steps. Step 1. Find the loss. Loss is equal to cost price minus selling price, which is 150 rupees. Step 2. Find loss percent. Loss percent is equal to loss upon cost price into 100, which is equal to 150 upon 1,500 into 100. On simplifying, we get 10%. Thus, Andy incurred a loss of 150 rupees or 10% on the toy car. Now, let's solve one more example. Find the profit or loss percent if the cost price is 3,500 rupees and selling price is 4,200 rupees. Cost price is equal to 3,500 rupees. Selling price is equal to 4,200 rupees. As the selling price is greater than the cost price, it is a profit. Here, the profit is equal to rupees 700. Now, the profit percent is equal to profit upon cost price into 100, which is equal to 700 upon 3,500 into 100. On simplifying, we get the profit percent as 20%. Wasn't it easy learning with Tim and Andy?
Here is a quick recap of the video. A percent of change is the ratio of the change in the original amount divided by the original amount. The ratio must be multiplied by 100 to convert the ratio into percent. Percentage of change equals change in value divided by original value into 100. Percentage is one of the most commonly used mathematical concept in real life. This is simple concept with various applications. Hence, you are expected to be absolutely confirmed with this concept. In order to increase your confirmed levels, you will do well to keep calculating percentages mentally whenever you get an opportunity to do so in real life. Learning outcomes. After this lesson, students will be able to determine the percentage of a given object presence within a group of 100 objects. Convert the percentage into a decimal. Convert the percentage into a fraction. Determine how much something will cost if it is discounted by a given percentage.
Sit down on the ground comfortably. Without moving your head and neck, look upwards and then downwards. Keep your neck and back straight. Now look at the sides, alternating with the left and right. Do not move your neck while looking sideways. Now look to your left, then look upwards. Move your eyes right and then look down. Look upwards, to your right, and then down. Now look upwards, then to your left and down. Now alternatively, look to your left once after looking upwards, before looking down, and then look to your right the next time after looking up. Close your eyes and rest for some time. Sit comfortably and bring your hands straight forward at shoulder height and raise your thumbs. Look at your thumbs. Slowly spread apart your hands. Look at your left and right thumbs alternatively while spreading your hands apart. Bring your hands together, continuing to look at your left and right thumbs alternatively. Close your eyes and rest for some time.
पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.